we go, back again with another video, and this week we're going to do a series of different videos building up to the biggest game of the season, the Tyne derby, Sunderland versus Newcastle, next Sunday at 2 o'clock. Before we get started with today's video, smash the subscribe button, we much appreciate it. We've got the biggest game of the season coming up this Sunday. It's the Tyne derby, Sunderland versus Newcastle. And this is a bit of history to do with it. Well, you know, just the results that I liked and enjoyed. Yes, folks, after the game yesterday, losing to Manchester City, which at the end of the day, most teams do at the Etihad, we didn't play that bad. But I only thought about 70% of us really turned up, and I think we'll be 110% bang on for when Newcastle come knocking on the door next Sunday. And now, the Tyne derby first took place in 1883 when Sunderland won the first game 2-0. Then, the largest victory was away at Newcastle, where Sunderland won 9-1 in 1908. So, it's Regis Lebris versus Eddie Howe. Who will come out on top? Better be Sunderland. Well, in the last 9 appearances, Sunderland versus Newcastle, the last 9 league games, Sunderland have won 6 and drawn 3, not lost a game against Newcastle in the last 9 league appearances. Before you Geordies bang on about the FA Cup, we had a really basic League One squad then, a League One team coming out of League One into the Championship, a very young squad, and only 2 of those players will be playing next Sunday. Cup games don't really count, it's league that matters. Dan Ballard and Trey Hume were only very young, inexperienced players. They've come on 50-fold since then, and they'll show you how good they are next Sunday. Yes, the big game's upon us. Let's look at previous results. In 2016, we did draw ones apiece. Of course, Jermaine Defoe. 2015, 2 games, we won both. 3-1, 1-0. Then 2014, we won them both again. 1-0, 3-0. 2013, we won them both again. 2-1 and 3-0. And then a couple of draws back in 2012. So 6 in a row. But of course, you've got to add that cup game in. So at this moment in time, Sunderland have won 53 games head-to-heads with Newcastle. Newcastle have won 54 and 49 draws. So we will level it up next Sunday, mark my words. What a start to the season so far Sunderland have had. They're one of the best starts a newly promoted team's done. All those changes we've made, all the new squad that's come in. Regis Lebris has been an absolute master technician. Technical, fantastic, superb. He's done really well. There's no doubting whatsoever. It's only the couple of games we played just recently against really difficult teams, and most teams will find it difficult to go to Anfield, to go to the Etihad to pick up points. That's allowed Newcastle to close that gap on Sunderland to 1 point. Sunderland are in 8th place on 23 points with a +1 goal difference. They've won 6, they've drawn 5, they've lost only 4. Newcastle, on the other hand, have creeped up behind Sunderland with victories. Obviously, they beat Everton, which was a good result, and just recently they beat Burnley. They draw against Spurs in between that. So they now have won 6, drawn 4, and lost 5 with a plus goal difference of 2. On 22 points. So all to play for this Sunday. And the biggest bonus is between 4th and 12th, there's only 3 points in it. I know Crystal Palace won today. That puts Crystal Palace on 24, 25 points. I'm not quite sure. So the winner of this game, you could jump up to the top 5 in the Premier League. There's no doubt about it. We did good at Anfield during the week. We did draw ones apiece. Isidore did miss a 1-on-1 chance at the end, and we were the better side. I was disappointed to come away with the draw. Yesterday, I kind of thought, yes, it's going to be a difficult one, between a rock and a hard place. A couple of players on 4 yellow cards, Xhaka and Siddiqui. We couldn't afford those to miss the derby at the weekend, on Sunday. We couldn't afford those to be banned for a game, so I could see how they played well and within themselves. Probably 75% they played within themselves. But we did lose that game. They scored a really good goal from outside the penalty box. A good shot. Keeper had no chance. And then, of course, poor marking for the second goal. 2 goals in 2 minutes kind of put the game to bed a little bit. We did have our opportunities again. Isidore, 1-on-1 chance, straight at Donnarumma, who put in, he's a big bloke, did a good save. And then second half, a couple of chances. We had the chance of course, where Xhaka hit the post as well. So a couple of quick opportunities. We could have pulled a couple of goals back on another day, but it wasn't to be. Put it down to experience against one of the best teams in Europe. We got beat 3-0. We'll come away with, after 30 minutes in that game, I was just starting to say it to myself. They're not really threatening that much, Man City. Then they scored 2 goals in 2 minutes. End of the day, it is what it is. They're class. They've got a class squad, and we've got to learn from them. Learn from yesterday's mistakes. Grow with the experience. And now I can see a different Sunderland turning up against Newcastle. Blood and thunder, plenty of aggression, plenty of high press, plenty of low block, imagine, and plenty of, physical presence. I think both teams will really be up for this game on Sunday. And, I think Newcastle have sent 900 tickets back to Sunderland. I don't know why. Why is that the reason? Someone let me know down in the comments below. And plenty of passion as well. One game. I'm going to be happy at the end of it. I really want to win this game. We really could do with the bouncing back and getting, 3 points on Sunday. This, for me, would make my season. Winning this game, the massive game, the biggest game of the season for us as the North East fans. Sunderland versus Newcastle, the Weird Tyne derby. I cannot wait for it. I'll be up there ready for the vlog at the weekend. Like I said, I fancy a 2-1 win. I fancy Robbie to get a goal. I think Isidore will not start at the weekend, in my opinion. I don't know about you. Who would you start as a Sunderland striker this weekend? Would it be Mienda, Brobby or Isidore? I'm kind of thinking possibly Brobby. I'd even bring Mienda on at some point. But I'm going to go for a 2-1 win. Let me know your thoughts down below. Early days, come on. Let me know your thoughts down below. Shithousery. Which players do you not like? I didn't like Gordon. I didn't like Bruno. But then again, I'm not a fan of many of the Newcastle players, of course. But I'm not a smart enough person to say, yeah, they are good players on that side. They've got some really talented players on that side. Otherwise, they wouldn't be in the Champions League. So yeah, you've got to be, end of the day, you've got to kind of respect the position they're in, the situation they're in, but at the same time, take it at them and really give it to them and come away with the 3 points, because we've got to win this game. I'm sure there'll be a bit of shithousery going on in all quarters this week. I'm sure there will be. Yes, so this first instalment, I just want to come on and talk about the previous history of this fixture. Previous, not any earlier than 2012. I can't remember any of them games, but 6 in a row. We'll see you next time. Adios. And before I upload that video, I was thinking, which 3 derbies prior to 2012 really sticks out in my memory as the ones I really enjoyed? Well, I'm going to show you 3 now. Let me know which 3 of yours are your favourites. And also, I forgot to say, Ronaldo, man of the match for me against Liverpool, wasn't playing against Manchester City, so he's back for the derby as well. Right, here we go. Here's me 3 favourites in no particular order.
And the chance for Raul, and he's got it. The Sunderland marking is so good, it's almost impossible for the Newcastle players to get away from their shadows, and now here's Raul bursting through. And it's another beauty from Gary Raul. Raul gets a wonderful chance to get his hat-trick from the penalty spot. The usual whistling we could do without, and Raul has made it 3-1. Knocking it short to Raul. It's a good pass that. It's a beauty from Raul, and there's the 4th goal. What a
We all live in a Gary Raul world, a Gary Raul world, a Gary Raul world. 3 goals and assist. What a day. I can barely just remember that. I was only 9 years of age.
Owers. Chance here for Gates, and Gates has scored. 4 bodies to the attack. Gabardini now. Gates. Gabardini. A chance here for him to sew it up, and he's done that.
Yes, the G-Force, Gates and Gabardini, the good old days. In the League One or Championship playoff semi-final, when Sunderland played Swindon, got beat and still made it to the Premier League. I can't remember the reason why now. I've been here good in the quiz with her. But yeah, remember that one, Newcastle fans. That was a cracking game, 2-0 to Sunderland. Yes, folks, and last but not least, I'm going to make it a double whammy. 2 games that really stick out in my mind in a golden era for Sunderland was 1999 and 2000. I think they were both away at Newcastle at St James's Park. A wet, windy, rainy Tuesday or Wednesday night. Kevin Phillips scores the winner.
Danger here for Sunderland. Oh, and a block by Tommy Wright. Phillips again. And Sunderland have scored.
I think that's when Ruud Gullit dropped Alan Shearer. I might be wrong, let me know in the comments down below, but that was an absolutely fantastic win. Then the season after, is that when the legend himself, the great man, Sir Bobby Robson, took over, and I think that's when Sunderland won 2-1 again with a goal from Don Hutchinson and Niall Crane's winner.
Phillips, nicely done. All fall down, and Hutchinson squares it at 1-1. Did well to let it run. Arca, that's a good cross. Here's Crane.
And what put the icing on the cake, the cherry on the cake that day, was Alan Shearer missing that penalty. Well, a fantastic save from Thomas Sorensen, yes.
Again at the penalty.
Take care, God bless me, God go with you. We'll see you tomorrow when I'm going to go have some words with Raymondo to do with the Tyne derby. See you folks. Anyway, spoiler alert, if I got any of that wrong, any of that information wrong, I do apologise. My mind is not as good as it used to be. Good night, God bless, and we'll see you next time.